Buckle up, beauty besties. We are going to be doing some makeup and talk about getting you some steep discounts. I'm talking like 40 to 50% off discounts as I stutter, whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. My skin is prepped and ready to go with my SPF. It's been sitting on here. It's been soaked up by my skin. This is my combination. In my oily T-zone, I do a mattifying SPF, and everywhere else I do a glowy, hydrating SPF. Because of this combination and the quality of these products, I don't use a moisturizer in the morning. These are, for all intents and purposes, a moisturizer in and of themselves. They're cream-based, they're moisture-based. That's what these are. So there's no need to put on additional layers unless you're struggling with acne and medications. Once I've allowed for the SPFs to do their thing and just like soak it up, sponge it up, I am going to show you a trick in order to eliminate using powders on top of your makeup. These are shine papers. They're oil absorbing papers. I don't really know how come they're different, but they really truly are. I haven't, like if you try to use toilet paper or a napkin or something, they don't work as good. These are legit. So once I've let my SPF sit on there, I take a shine paper and then I go through and I blot my whole face. And I say when I let my SPF sit on there, it's probably been like a good 15, 20 minutes. Like I put mine on, brush my teeth, usually get dressed, I do my eyebrows, and then I go and I blot through. Like, look at that, it's so gross. But my face, it's just like, it's so much oilier than you think it is. Okay, we are going to make our own tinted skin serum. We're going to be using our custom matched compact in order to do this. When I color match you, I am going to pick you a 3D foundation that is going to be used to create your tinted skin serum. So the way that we're gonna do this, okay, Pip's gonna be a little noisy, hold on. Okay, she's simmered down. So we're going to have our highlight, which is not going to be too light. We want this to not act as a highlight. We want this to act as a complexion booster, because the goal with this is to blur or veil the skin. We don't want to hide the skin, just a few of the imperfections. So to do this, we're going to use a skin serum. This one's my favorite to use for this situation, but let's not overconsume. If you have a skin serum at home, use it up before you buy another, but when you're ready, this one is linked in my profile. So I go ahead and I give this a good shake because this one has some different stuff in it that separates. So I give it a good shake and I plop on 2 to 3 drops onto the highlight itself. And then we're going to use the wash brush. This brush today is 40% off. So if you get a color match by me, this is one of the items that is 40% off. The wash brush is going to do just as it says. I'm gonna wash it right over the top of the highlight, and this is going to create skincare makeup. So my favorite thing about skincare makeup is how much it is your skin. It's adding skincare to your makeup. So I just kind of put that on there and then I will go ahead and move it all back around so that it isn't like, it's just gonna be super sheer. It's not going to be heavy. It's not going to be blocking your skin, coverage of your skin in any way. You really have to think of a blur and a veil. That's the best way for me to describe this. And I put it just in my muzzle area, my panda bear area, whatever you want to call it. So I put that on there, and then I'm going to use a beauty blender and I'm just going to meld it all the way through. My beauty blender is damp, so that it doesn't like take off too much product, but sits it in. The next step in this application is to enhance our skin tone. So in the areas of low muscle movement on the outside of your face, you can use products that have a little bit more opacity. So you can think of like your contours, your bronzers, that kind of stuff that have more coverage can be used in the areas that don't have as much creasing or muscle movement. I'm going to be using the shape brush to do this. This brush again, 40% off, ladies. So when you get a color match by me, this is another one of the items that is going to be drastically discounted today. So I'm super excited about this. I'm going to use my bronzer and I'm just going to add and enhance like around my face, tinting and toning, so that I just bring up the color and I apply this in a way that is extremely undetectable. So in person, it's just gonna look like I have really healthy skin from the facial. Now that I've brought a bit of life back into my skin, I'm going to add a little bit of dimension into my cheekbones by using the Blur brush, also 40% off, and one of my sculpts. And I'm going to do just a little bit of this into the hollow, like where I'm missing color, like where I'm missing that shadow. I'm just going to bring it in there to get a little bit of a lift. I actually feel like I have makeup right there. I don't know if I touched maybe I touched my face before I got it on there. So I'm doing that, and you can see right in here, just where my color is missing, just where my shadow's missing. I'm using the Blur brush to do this. I think it's just nice to be working in a small area because I don't want to look fake. I want this to be completely undetectable when I'm finished. Now that I've brought a bit of life back into my skin, I'm going to add a little bit of dimension into my cheekbones by using the Blur brush, also 40% off, and one of my sculpts. And I'm going to do just a little bit of this into the hollow, like where I'm missing color, like where I'm missing that shadow. I'm just going to bring it in there to get a little bit of a lift. I actually feel like I have makeup right there. I don't know if I touched maybe I touched my face before I got it on there. So I'm doing that, and you can see right in here, just where my color is missing, just where my shadow's missing. I'm using the Blur brush to do this. I think it's just nice to be working in a small area because I don't want to look fake. I want this to be completely undetectable when I'm finished. The opposite side of my wash brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of orange to bring in some enhancement to my cheeks. This tone, I think on me just looks so much more natural. It's just such a really good one for me. And I have a few lip and cheeks that I like to use for it as well. But the one that I'm using right here is 50% off. So what are you waiting for? The creme de la creme in my fusion method is for sure the under eyes. The goal is to not see any product, to have zero creasing, and to just eliminate the areas that are a little bit dark and distracting. And you don't need to cover your under eyes in a whole lot of makeup in order to do this. Even if you have dark circles, I will show you how to do it. I will walk you through the process. I'll create you a face map. I will help you eliminate them and give yourself skin but better looking under eyes where you're gonna love them, and you're not going to be so overwhelmed by what you think is so ugly. Like, I promise you, I can do this for you. It's just gonna depend on what colors we need. So I'm going to use my colors, and I'm gonna start with my darkest point first and just work around and eliminate those tones of blue that are under my eyes. And here's the thing, these are called demi correctors, which would be like color correcting, right? So can you do this with other products? Absolutely, you totally can. But here's the kicker. Most other products on the market that are color correcting lines on the market do not have the immense amount of color pigment options that I have available to me within this collection. I honestly know that's why it's superior on the market, because of the options that you have and the pigment levels. So this formula is incredible. I have found nothing that matches it. But above and beyond that, because there's so many different levels of pigment, I can correct your under eyes. So for instance, like if you get into the NYX color correcting, they have 4 or 6 colors, and they have like one of each of those shades. So let's say that they have a peachy orangey tone. Well, I have multiple different options of oranges with different combos, plus different levels of pigment. So I don't care what color your under eyes are, I can magically filter them for you. So give it a shot. Like now's the time. If you've seen me using, this is the spot brush, which is probably my personal #1 selling brush. I love this brush and I find it to be the best for somebody starting out with demi color for your under eyes because it really encourages you to use less product, which is going to be kind of the tricky part when you're first starting out because we are so used to using so much more product. This kind of holds you back from doing that. And then it does have a nice, like angled, a little bit more pointed to help you get under your eyes. It's a beautiful brush. So let's say that they have a peachy orangey tone. Well, I have multiple different options of oranges with different combos, plus different levels of pigment. So I don't care what color your under eyes are, I can magically filter them for you. So give it a shot. Like now's the time. If you've seen me using, this is the spot brush, which is probably my personal #1 selling brush. I love this brush and I find it to be the best for somebody starting out with demi color for your under eyes because it really encourages you to use less product, which is going to be kind of the tricky part when you're first starting out because we are so used to using so much more product. This kind of holds you back from doing that. And then it does have a nice, like angled, a little bit more pointed to help you get under your eyes. It's a beautiful brush. So when I do your color match, the tools that I recommend are all going to be at that 40% off discount, which is going to give you a huge savings on a first time order. But also if you have ordered from me in the past and you want to just add to some of the brushes, because I always recommend demi brushes. If you want to just grab a couple that you're missing so that you have the entire collection, babes, like now is the time to pull that trigger. Now is the time to add to your tools because this price is so incredible. So when I do your color match, the tools that I recommend are all going to be at that 40% off discount, which is going to give you a huge savings on a first time order. But also if you have ordered from me in the past and you want to just add to some of the brushes, because I always recommend demi brushes. If you want to just grab a couple that you're missing so that you have the entire collection, babes, like now is the time to pull that trigger. Now is the time to add to your tools because this price is so incredible. I saved the best piece of information for last. So when you get a color match by me, I always put your makeup into this luxury compact. Now it costs a little bit more because it is a full-size mirror, it has hinges, it's hard cased and magnetic closure. This compact allows for you to set up the makeup that I match you with in a very similar setup to this. It just makes you feel so happy to do your makeup in the morning. It's like playing with an art palette. It's gorgeous. And you know how people say like you eat with your eyes first? I truly believe that you're more creative, you're more invested in your finished product if you eat with your eyes first when you're doing your makeup, and this compact allows for you to do it. Generally, this is the size that I build everyone's compact with, and this is the smaller one, but look how much this holds, you guys. Like, this is my full face. This one's going to be 40% off, or you can get the Big Mama, the Pro, and she is 50% off. So like this is my absolute favorite part of the sale because this is how I build everyone's compact. Everybody wants to end up with their makeup looking like this. And even if they don't buy this compact like originally, now's the time for you to upgrade to get it. Like honestly, it's such a great deal. And bonus, your forever eye patches that I always talk about stick so beautifully on the outside. So every morning I just pull off my eye patches, put on my serum, plop them on, and I wear them. And then when I'm done, I rinse them off and stick them right back to the top of my compact. Ah, genius. There are loads of other items that are on sale, like eyeshadows, a plethora of eyeshadows. There's some skincare that I've talked about. There's some like microfiber washcloths and rounds I've talked about. Those are all really great that you might want to add to your packet as well. But I wanted you to see how I teach the makeup and why each of these tools are included in my application and how they're 40 to 50% off. So I hope this helps you guys. I'm really quite excited about this one just because it is so in line with the setups that my customers get built every time they request a color match. So if you haven't had a color match, this is my link to sign up and get one today. If you have had a color match and you need your cart rebuilt, send me a message. I'll get that taken care of. Or if you just want to add to your current order, now.